I'm Melanie Southard, and I'm here with Equi-Restore. And today I wanted to talk to you. This is a little quick tip that I can give you that I do on my horses that I think everybody can do. And it's involving the TMJ joint. And one of the things that I do is I like to check my horse's TMJ joint. And all I do is I'll check a point right here, right next to this nuchal joint that sticks out. And I just kind of press under it. I'll press around on the top because this joint where we inject is just right here on this line. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. So I want to check behind it and see if he's got a little soreness back in there. And check right here in this joint in front. I'm going to check up top and right here in the front of it. And I'm doing not a lot of like hard pressure, just normal pressure that you would probably, just kind of be checking around on him. He's not really sore in anything. If he was really sore, he'd be giving me a very, very big response, and he's not really doing anything. The other thing I'm going to do to check the TMJ joint to see if it's sore is I want to put my hand on top of his nose, because what I want to do is isolate the front part of his jaw, or the top part of his jaw, and I want to take my other hand and I want to put it underneath his jaw, because what I want to do is with my right hand I want to move his jaw back and forth, because what that's doing is that's checking the TMJ joint to see when I apply a little bit pressure there if there's going to be any soreness. A lot of times horses will get sore up in there sometimes when the horses are in the when the tooth people are doing their teeth and they're holding their mouths open really, really taut for a long period of time. They can make those TMJ joints get really, really sore, and then once they get sore, it kind of like they have a hard time recovering from that. And then they start head shaking and doing some different things with their faces when you run barrels on them. So what I want to do is I want to check. So I'm going to hold his nose, and I'm just going to gently check underneath his jaw by moving his jaw side to side with my right hand. And when I move it, as you can see, he can move it pretty good side to side. Nothing's hurting him up here in his jaw. But if he was to hurt in that area, he would raise his head, he'd run backwards, he'd be very stiff, he wouldn't let me move it or anything. He can move his pretty dang good under here. They would definitely show you that they're sore in there. So in his case, if he was sore, what I would do is I would take my thumb, and I'm going to stick my thumb in his mouth, and I'm going to put it on the roof of his mouth. And I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on the roof of his mouth. Watch that, he doesn't bite you with his teeth. I'm going in between those teeth, and I'm just kind of holding some pressure on the top. And see how he's moving that jaw back and forth and moving that jaw around. That's what I'm wanting him to do, because I'm wanting him to self-stretch his own TMJ joint up there. And what that does is when he moves it back and forth and all around, that's stretching that up there. So I'm just going to kind of hold my thumb there and let him kind of stretch it around. And he's going to fight like this. Some horses might, a little bit more, because obviously there's something in his mouth that he doesn't like that I'm doing. He's trying to rub my thumb off with his tongue right now. But it's just kind of exercising that joint around up there and trying to loosen some of the tissues around it to get it to relax. And then once I kind of feel like he's kind of moved around side to side enough, then, I'm going to go ahead and take my hand out and let him go. So I might have to do this a few times, just to get him kind of to relax. But that's kind of what I do to kind of release some pressure up here in the TMJ joints, just to, get it where I can work on it and get them softened up. If there is a problem up there, a lot of times people will go to the vet and they'll have those injected There's some other herbal supplements that you can give to help with TMJ and head shaking too. That's out there. But this is what I found. I just stick my finger in, kind of keep it to the roof of the mouth so I don't get my finger chewed off, my thumb. And I just kind of let him move around himself. I put a little pressure on the top of the mouth just to keep my hand in one spot, and I just kind of hold it there, you know, and let him move around and not hit me in the face. That's the other thing. And then once he settles down, and I kind of let him go where he wants to a certain extent. You can see he's moving that joint back and forth, so that's really, really good. This also is a really good exercise for the hyaloid bone up in there. Good, he's moved it both side to side, both ways. And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to get your horse worked on by me, I'm in Osaka, Mississippi. I handle Louisiana and Mississippi. I go to the barrel races. Come find me at the barrel races. I'll be gladly to work on your horse. My rates start at $30 and they move up. I do muscle manipulation and stretching, and I also have some equipment that I'll work on and do some things on your horses to help them feel better. Anyway, I appreciate it. Thank you.